afternoon, everyone.
The San Jose County Library, San Jose County Library Board. Commission quorum, Secretary Smith. Okay, Ruth, are you here?
I am.
Gary? I am. This week?
Here.
Here. Nicole?
Here.
And I'm here, so we have a quorum. Yeah, before you consent agenda, we have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Have a second. Second. Move the second to approve the agenda, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
I'm very excited to now to be doing a disaster plan, thanks to Lisa. Lisa is setting up. Oh, Lisa setting up, okay. So, that means we have a plan in advance, should there be a tornado or some other disaster, which makes me feel a whole lot better. So, she did not do that alone, but she got it all together. We had a pre-planning meeting with a landscape architect at Center. We're hoping to do something with all of that property that we've got down here, so he started looking through that. We also noticed some things when we were down there, like the monument sign is really kind of falling apart, so we'll replace those monument sign, we're doing that work. We're working with Midwest Collaborative for Library Services, AKA MCLS. For strategic planning, we know we need to do a 2025 to 2029 strategic plan. So we'll have a staff survey go out this week. And then at our next agency heads meeting, which is all of our managers, they'll do some paired interviews with some of those same questions. We also provided them with a lot of the data that we gathered in our master planning surveys and meetings, so she'll use that. One of the agenda items a little later down, further down, is looking for 2 volunteers from you who might be interested in attending our strategic planning workshop on July 26th. We had a lot of really good discussion around Being Mortal, which was our one book this year. I had a couple of people really thank me for bringing this conversation to the forefront. So that's, and that's not a fun topic to discuss, but I think sparked really good conversations here. We're currently interviewing and hiring summer interns. I think we've got some I signed agreements to hire.
We've got 4 college interns, and we're working on the interviews for the teen interns.
So there, and we have in the past sometimes hired our interns into permanent positions, so that's always exciting when that happens. We love our internship program. Oh, I forgot to bring the samples of the stop in the cafe next time you're here in the open, the merch that
I forgot.
you asked
me to do it.
Oh, it's Jenny. I want to do it here.
I saw them on the island.
I may have bought 3 pairs of earrings for my daughter, the book ones, and then the book nerd ones, and then cute little kitty cat.
Which apparently were a mistake order, and then we were like,
Cats and lumberjanes go together like
On brand.
easy.
So those items have been probably, they've had to take another order already, so. Yeah, yeah, there's notepads that look like a due date card. And then, this is gonna be an unexpected expense for us, which is the maintenance on our elevators in the main library. Keep getting us trouble. No. Old elevator.
Were they renovated during?
I think they did the interior of them, somebody.
Yeah.
They did the interior, but nothing mechanical.
But they look
That's all it is.
So, needless to say, so they've done some mechanical repairs. they're looking at the doors and additional mechanical repairs, but at this point, we're looking at doing, just need to swap out like all of the mechanical pieces and essentially we keep the have everything else gets replaced? Or do we continue to just repair as we go? Joe's getting some quotes for those different options and making some choices.
All of it.
Over 30 years.
But Joe said they got like a complete overhaul,
Still over 30 years.
2001 or 2002, this.
2001, 2002.
It's
2020.
Yeah.
This section.
There you go. But needless to say, they're gonna need to work and they're gonna be expensive, so you'll see those coming through.
This would be low.
So we did have trouble with one of the elevators here, that was still in warranty. That was. And good news though, we've done all carpet cleaning, gutter cleaning, parking lot fixtures at all of our locations, so. I mean, Joe is very, very good at doing the big ones, so that's a really nice thing to have in a facilities manager.
Elevators are inspected regularly, they get certificates, I presume, we're not in violation of any.
Correct, yeah.
Joe said that they are safe.
Okay,
The issue is reliability and people getting stuck on the inside.
Which doesn't sound safe. They're safe, if Joe has them open, they're safe, and nobody's gonna get stuck.
here's an idea, we could, tell everybody to use stairs and sell it as an employee benefit, exercise room.
It's a wellness program. I get it. We're on board.
Not everybody can use the stairs.
It's
So. That's what I got.
Any other questions for the question? Motion to approve the report. Second.
Second.
The vote is second, that we approve the executive report, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, Jenny,
Wow.
I like what I see.
Yeah, we had a really good month. A few things I'm gonna point out, and I'm gonna do one because Adam's here today, but our social media highlight for the month was a video that he made in collaboration with the cafe. It was really popular and it shows a lot of the creativity that's going on in that department right now. And for the year to date, we have about a 21,000 reach on Facebook, which is doing really great compared to where we've been in the past. So we're really excited about that. About 112 groups used this space in March. You'll start to notice, it's not reflected so much in March, but it will be in April. We have new door counters in this building on the front entrance, which have kind of given us more accurate representation of our visitation in this building. So we had increases on total visitors, both at Main and across the system in March, but that number has increased even more thanks to having a more accurate count. So it just shows, like all numbers, especially things like visitation and gate count, are your best estimate of what's happening. But it really shows that those are kind of it's a floor rather than the ceiling on what people are actually doing in this building. Program attendance is down, and the only reason I mention that is because that's only because of Science Alive. Science Alive happens in February and sees such a leap that March always looks a little depressed, but that is not the case. Actually, program attendance is doing really well year on year. And also you'll notice we have 9,000 people reached at outreach events. And that's because we went to some pretty huge outreach events, specifically St. Pat's Parade, where we had some librarians who bravely drove the book bike. It's not even drove, I guess, pedaled the book bike along the parade route. So they earned every single eyeball that saw the library. Yeah, it's terrible. And the only other thing that I will point out is both Wi-Fi sessions and computer minutes continue to increase year by year. So most of our other stats are kind of at least normalized in some sense to some of the yearly trends that we've been seeing, but those two continue to Klein, which I think points to A, how people use the library, and B, some needs that we have in our community, which with the, withdrawal of the ACP program, which is the Affordable Connectivity Plan, I think we can only expect that both of those numbers will increase through the summer.
You anticipate moves out of the road, that
In terms of Wi-Fi and computer, or just,
no, in general.
yeah, usually we see more, although it's, you know, I think as summer break comes in, things change up a little bit. So it's not always just, weather related, but sort of like the seasonality of people's lives.
Usually we see, typically in libraries, that we see that in the, because May is very busy with graduations and the school, and then a little more in the summer, and then you see that always, never December, but there's a pretty good cycle that happens in libraries.
Any questions for Jenny? Jeanette, you got any money?
Well, if you look at the fund report, we always have money.
That's good.
So just kind of some highlights on the fund report, and just overall appropriations. Just as we talked about the elevators, as we talk about the other building improvements and repairs, we will use, the library improvement reserve fund as much as possible. To be able to kind of shift those dollars away from operations, out of the operating fund, so that we can, use up those, library improvement funds. So, that will help our operating dollars to continue. Say that again. So we have to remember that in the library improvement reserve fund, we really have two, right? So we have the what's in our bank account, and then we have what's in Trust Indiana. So, if you look at the fund report, line 400, it's $100,000. However, we have 3.3 million in, sitting in Trust Indiana, we'll move it over when we need it. So we leave it there until we have to pay the bill, and we'll make that because it's very liquid. So that's kind of the biggest thing, continuing to do what we do with Trust Indiana. We also, if you remember last meeting, we decided to move some dollars into some CDs. So we have a 12-month CD with First Source for $250,000, a Lake City CD for 13 months, and Everwise for $500,000. So the yields on those are between 5.12, I should go the other way, between 4.25% and 5.125%. So we should be able to see those yields over, the longest one is 16 months. So like I said, last month, they're thinking that the interest rates are going to drop, in June. So just holding that additional $1 million, at that level, for 16 months will gain us some more dollars for usage as we go forward in the next chapter. Appropriations, we are really doing well. We're 25% of the year, and we are really in most of our categories, we are well under spending of 25% overall. So I'm very happy about where we are, where we decided to spend money out of to keep those numbers, knowing that we'll have circuit breaker at some point. We don't know what that final number will come in at, but we are holding well below at a 25% spend. So I'm very happy about that. The only other thing, the ADP implementation is progressing. We are doing our first punches, live punches in ADP. So far, so good. We'll see when we do payroll, and the May 10th is the first payroll. Only other things probably, touch solar panels. We're getting ready to get into some of the hot months. So we'll see really what those solar panels have done for us. Right now we have about 18% savings, which is not a big number. It's about averaging about 200 a month, but we'll see what happens when we actually have some sun even in Indiana. So we'll have to see what happens in the summer. So yeah, that's basically it, unless you guys have any questions.
I have one, that's not necessarily you, but on the e-resources, yeah, on the software and resources for e-learning and stuff, do we anticipate an increase in price next year? You think?
I haven't necessarily heard anything specific, about any price increases for, e-learning or any of that right now. So when we look at the budget, which will be coming here soon, we don't all definitely, look to increase anywhere we see some spending movements, but, right now I think we're pretty good.
Any questions? I'm going to have a motion to accept Patriots engagement report and the financial report. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second to approve both of the Patriot engagement and financial report. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, lady. With the unfinished business. Hearing none. New business. Sarah.
So. Wait a minute, I just realized,
This is mine.
This is
yeah, he's looking at the memo, yours was mixed in the middle.
Oh, but it's still personnel changes, so. We have tonight with us, I've been inviting our retirees to come, and Deb Bach is the first one to take me up on the offer. So I just want to acknowledge Deb and her more than 18 years of service to the library. Yeah. She works in business office, so.
Got water.
So that will be very nice in the business office. So thanks for coming tonight, Deb. And then I also want to introduce you our new communications manager, Daniel Lippy. He is coming to us from the college. He's got a lot of experience and creativity, and we're happy to have him on board.
Thank you.
With that, I'm actually gonna.
The news is here. So we're gonna, so Jenny and Daniel are gonna go meet the news people about our event tonight.
First day and he's already.
Right on in.
And let's just applaud that right on out. And that's the entirety of the personnel report. So you have everything else in front of you for that. Motion.
I have a motion to approve the personnel change.
Yeah.
Personnel report.
Second. Second.
I move in second that we approve the personnel report. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Do that travel, fan travel? You see what I did, transfer between funds.
Sure. So we had the ACP Navigator grant. That was basically a refundable grant, with the city refunding us the dollars for payroll and some expenses. And so we want to move the refund, obviously we pay payroll out of operating. So we want to move the receipts that we received for that grant from the grant account back into the general fund.
$28,250.
80 cents and 80 cents.
Any questions? No questions, entertain a motion,
Move to approve.
and a second.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve transfer, resolution to transfer between funds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say ayes have it. Okay, resolution to close the construction fund.
So we had two construction funds, that still had a little bit of dollars left in them after we pretty much closed everything out. And, instead of us waiting for anything else to happen or any, we are wanting to move those small dollars, $210.80 and $449.78 into, again, the operating fund.
Any questions? No questions, entertain a motion. And, motion that is second.
I'll second.
Have a movement to second. We, through the resolution for construction funds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Done. And staff day,
This
that's yours.
So as if not all of you are aware, every year we do a staff development day, and we basically put on a little conference for our staff for continuing education. This year, we would like to have staff day on, September 26th, which is a Thursday. And in order to do that, we have to close all locations, so that everybody can be in one place at one time. So we are asking for your approval for that day.
Move to approve.
Second,
Second,
moving properly second, staff development day for September 26th, 2024. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Aye, opposed? Ayes have it. Have fun.
It's fun to all be together and everybody learns a lot, so.
Yeah.
It's a good day.
Good. Strategic planning opportunities.
Yep, I'm looking for 2 people who would like to come on July 25th. I would be happy to. Awesome, thank you, Alan and Christine.
What time? Do we know what time?
10 to 3:30. I will remind you.
Okay.
Very.
I wasn't gonna tell her when to leave, but.
Further education item? Makes sense.
And 5:30?
Two parts.
Yeah.
In this room, will be, slightly. Okay,
That's coming soon. Jenny just left. She knows more about it than I do, but we're gonna do that exhibit with the history museum in this room for a couple of months on the anniversary of the Notre Dame and the Klan interaction. They're gonna do some sort of display over the window where you can see what it would have looked like at this intersection. And where CJ's Pub is where the Klan had their headquarters. Oh, yeah. So that should be a really good exhibit. We're excited to have that.
Was that the same year that the governor of Indiana was a member?
I don't know, but if I come to that exhibit, which I can do, I might learn that.
So I highly recommend Fever in the Heartland. It's a book about the Klan in Indiana and mentions that when the Klan was coming to South Bend, the Notre Dame students met them because, you know, the Klan is anti-Catholic. And that is how Notre Dame got its name, the Fighting Irish. Because they were fighting the Klan.
That's a wrong.
No, something in the heart here.
Fever in the Heartland.
Fever in the Heartland.
But I just put a hold on it and let you might have to get behind it.
It's a fascinating book, really fascinating. And Valparaiso University, now that I'm giving a little book report, almost got purchased by the Klan.
Oh.
Yes, back in the day.
Was it a Lutheran university at that point?
I don't remember.
Okay. Our next board meeting will be Monday, May 20th. Next weekend, Memorial Day, will be done.
Library will be fun.
Monday, 12th. The Monday, May 20th, will be 4:15. In this room? Oh, yes.
No, because they said it will be here, so we'll be in.
Second, that should be.
Town hall.
Here's the green tab. The other business. Want to thank the staff for their hard work. You guys do a great job, we appreciate you. And that, the motion to dismiss. From the second.
Second.
Throw that.